Hello and welcome back to Factorio Vanilla 1.0. In our last episode, we set up some basic recycling of materials here that are found here in the storage at the base. Things that I might throw away from my inventory or got picked up during deconstruction, and those are getting or should be getting delivered to these various sets of boxes along the bus here and put back onto the bus. There's obviously still a lot in here, and a lot of it can still be recycled, but for now at least, they are, it's kind of stuck because we're not making anything. And then we moved on to over here at the base ore station, and we designed a 4-station balancing circuit. This circuit takes in the total amounts from all 4 of the stations and changes that value to a number, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can read those values here as 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the power poles, which are then fed into these 3 combinators. And all these 3 combinators do is take in the value or the number of the station and compare that value against all 3 of the other ones, as you can see here. And then it outputs a green or a check mark that says, "Hey, this station is the lowest of the 4. So open the signal." Obviously, there's no train already there, and then it does so, and then allows one train in. Which right now you can see that all of the stations, well, 3 of the stations have trains in them, and the 4th one does not. This one's not connected to anything, and neither is this one for that matter, so of course they don't. But then that keeps the stations pretty well balanced, and that means we can just use simple 4-to-4 balancers here instead of using a massive, in that case 16 by 16, to keep everything in balance. I plan on doing the same thing, as I mentioned at the end of the last episode, to the copper stations here as well. I just haven't done it yet. It'll obviously be just a 3 combinator comparison instead of 2. But the concept is still the same, so if you are interested in something like that, go back and watch the latter half of the previous episode. And then we started looking at rerouting some of the iron ore belts so that they go into steel and iron smelting properly. I did do some of it. We started with some of it, and then I did do a little bit more, bringing in these first 2 belts here into steel, because we had cut them off from here in the end of the previous episode. So I did finish that, but we honestly don't have anything drawing at this point, which is also the problem with the recycling. So we're not really producing anything from in the base. We're not producing any science anymore and whatnot. So these are barely working. You can see that iron, we have like 2 furnaces working right now. Steel, we don't even have any working. So and the ones that are working, the iron ones that are working, are probably making belts, or were making belts. So what we want to do today is come down here to the end of the bus, which is where I'm standing, and we want to start setting up something. And that something is rocket science. I'm going to do these using the 3-in-1 module design that we did here for the blue circuits. 3 productivity, 1 speed. As you can see here, that gives you the 30% productivity bonus, which is maximum productivity bonus is 40% in vanilla, with 4 productivity module 3s in the machine. So you're almost getting the productivity that you wanted, but you're also making up for the speed hit that a productivity module causes by putting in 1 speed module and actually getting a little bit of extra speed boost out of it. Each productivity module 3 causes a 15% speed hit, but each speed module 1 causes a 50% speed bonus. So 3 times 15 is 45, and so that's minus 45 plus 50 is a plus 5%, which is a nice kind of balance of, simple construction, kind of tight construction without the need for beacons, while still giving you quite a bit of a productivity bonus, especially with assemblers. And if you compare that to what we did over here in the oil area, both refineries and chemical plants only take 3 productivity beacon or modules anyway. So that gives you a nice bonus to the production, the productivity, while also counteracting the speed hit and balancing it out and actually giving you a slight boost to speed. So Each of these machines is normally 1.25. Now they are 1.3125, which is the 5% bonus, which is worth it. So you're getting 30% more product, and you're getting a 5% speed bonus. That's a good trade-off at this stage of the game to make sure that you are producing enough stuff. So what I want to do then is come back here, and let's start looking at what it will take to build the rocket, to build the components to feed the rocket. So the rocket has 3 components to it. Can we actually show them off here? We can't show them off directly as part of the rocket, but we can show them off as rocket control units, low density structures, and rocket fuel. Actually, I can if I make the rocket silo, but I don't have the stuff to make it at this point. But let's just pretend that everyone knows, whether you do or not, that the rocket silo takes those 3 ingredients in, I think 1,000 of them total, to make one, to launch one rocket. And it also takes in 1 satellite, which takes 2 of those 3 ingredients as well. So what we're going to do is set up the satellite manufacturing, as well as the rocket control units and the low-density structures arrays today, or starting today. We've already done low-density structures once, by the way, if you will recall. We did that for yellow science. That was done... No, wait. Yes, yellow science. That was done here. This array is just enough for yellow science, plus a little bit extra that's going onto the bus going back to the mall. We have a lot of belt storage here, by the way. I probably could have done that with bots, but Catherine has her mall set up to bring them in on the belt, so I would have to maybe set up a requester chest to feed those in onto that belt, which we could have done, and that probably would have been less bot storage, or less belt storage rather, but then that would have cost us using bots for that, so it's kind of a whatever situation. I see we have a lot of modules now, so I think what I want to do before we get started is to increase this number to 200 of each. 200 of each. And then we'll kick that off before we actually get started building here. Because we're going to start using a lot of these modules, and the more we're going to use, the more we need to make. And the more we need to make, the more we need to use, and so on. So let's get started. We can more or less actually just copy that array of low density structures from before, but we need to be careful because we need to we need to take into account the modulating and beaconing of the whole thing. And so I want to be careful with that and set it up appropriately. So for low density structures, we don't need nearly as many, and that's because of the modulating and beaconing. In fact, I'm sorry, not beaconing. We're not beaconing these. The modulating. In fact, we need to. I need to make a change to my plan because I forgot about that part. We make a change. Making a change. Okay. We need 24 assembler 3s making low density structures for the rocket. So I'm going to take this array that we have here, and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to copy the first 24 machines worth. 4, because I'm going to use the same build. At this point, it's kind of a why not situation. We do need, though, I think, may need to use red belts for this build. Okay, get out of there. Let me double check the numbers actually on that before I commit to it. Let's see, we need a total of 31.319 copper plates, which means that the copper plates need to be on a red belt. We can set this up here. This works. I'll give it some space here, of course. I want to go ahead and put that down, but I want to take out the assemblers. And I should have actually just done this via the blueprint before I as I was taking the blueprint. But I'm going to take out those assemblers because we want to put in assembler 3s that are moduled in such a way like the blue circuits are here. I want to look at this again just briefly. I did have supplemental copper coming in here. I forgot about that. Maybe we don't need the red belts then. Maybe we can keep using yellow belts, which is kind of fun. Let me think. Let me do here. These are 15 each. Yes, we can do this. So let's do exactly the same build actually. Only instead it will be, and look at all the bot swarm. Instead it will be a yellow assembler making low density structures with the appropriate modules in it. There it goes. And then we can literally just take this thing here and copy paste it all the way down. And then be careful with your feet here, but all the way back up again. And that should be the array we need for this. As I said, I want to use the yellow belts. So we're going to go ahead and do that because everything will fit on the yellow belt. And I like it for some reason. Something about using the yellow belts in this situation is kind of fun to me, like all the way through the end game, basically, or not the end game, but the rocket launch. Using yellow belts for every assembly is kind of a fun thing for me. I guess I'm weird about that, but we all got to be weird about something, you know? I did copy too many, but that's okay. I can just do it like this, and then that goes there. So we have, let me copy this again. Actually, I probably still have it in my paste queue. We'll go here. This is copper, so go up 2. This is half copper, so we'll go up 2 there, and this one is copper. This one was all plastic, so we can go up to the plastic belt right there. Oh, look, we have a cliff in the middle of the bus. That's going bye-bye. And that tree probably is going to go away, too. How did I do the middle belt with the copper on it? That's what I did. I did a crazy squiggle to get it over there. So maybe instead I want to move this belt, this whole belt, over a couple of tiles, or at least a tile. A tile should be enough. That can go there. But yeah, for some reason, building with the... and I'm going to go ahead and use red splitters here on this copper bus, because this is going to be upgraded to red belts anyway at some point. Because I think we needed, like... We need 3... Actually, it might end up being blue belts. We need 3.6 blue belts, I think, on the bus. So, yeah, it might end up being blue belts. I think it was 5.3 or something like that of red belts. I didn't redo the math, but you get the idea here. That goes there, that goes there. And then this comes in from here. And then we have this, not that, this again, going up to steel, which is going to be along this row here. Let me grab that belt and bring it along the bus here. I don't know how that one got left behind, but it did. And then we can connect that in here as well. That goes here. And then I'm going to switch to yellows at this point, because it doesn't need to be red, because it's only going to be half a yellow belt anyway. That goes there. This is the input belt of plastic, so maybe instead I want to do this a little bit differently. I want to do a yellow underground here, and then let this plastic belt come through so that I can split it there. And if you've noticed, I am not hooking the bus belts up just yet. I'm just doing the split-offs to start with. This is the other copper here, and that can go into a yellow. But you always want the splitters to be at least as fast as the slowest lane, or the slowest belt that's going through a splitter. So we're going to make these red eventually, actually blue eventually. So I might as well make it a red splitter now, because it's going to be upgraded eventually anyway. And I think that's all of our split-offs. And then we need... Actually, this isn't going to go out onto the bus. This just needs to go to the rocket. And so what I'm going to use is part of this mini bus that I have here for science, because the only ones actually used at this point in the base is this one, which is the white science coming in. So I can use, actually, these 2 belts probably. This one here for rocket... no, low-density structures. And then this one will come in down here with rocket control units, and then we'll bring in the rocket fuel from along the bus from back here at oil refining, which is why this is going to need to get split right here. Bring that back in, or bring that down the bus, down to the bus, English Molly, and along and back down here to where it needs to go into the rocket. So that we can reuse this mini science bus here to handle that bit. Okay, so now we can hook these up. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to shift paste these all down, except I need to be careful right there. And I'll just go that far. We need to modify this, though, to go under that. And then we can take maybe, I guess, just these. Do we still need the stone and the stone bricks down here? We really don't. I'm going to go ahead and take the plastic and steel down, though. And, you know, what to continue along your bus is kind of a personal preference. And actually, this doesn't need to come any further down either, technically. So I think I will save that. And actually, I don't know what the batteries do either. So it's kind of up to you on how you want to handle that. And I should do some battery recycling, by the way. If I didn't already, I might have. Did I? I did not. And I should do that battery recycling maybe way down here someplace. Possibly even where it goes into making bots or the frames, the robotic frames here for the for purple science, somewhere where it's going to get used a lot. Going into the mall's not going to use that many batteries, so that's not a good place for it. But we can set that up later. We'll let the bots build this. In the meantime, I can put in my shifters here, and these need to be all priority, even the one going in at least into the full lanes. Technically that one's not needed, but it also doesn't hurt that much. And now we should be making low density structures for the rocket. These have a long build time, so the first ones are just now coming out onto the belt. Excellent. So next up is the rocket control units, which take in processing units and speed modules. Okay, so blue circuits and speed module 1. We don't have speed module 1 built where we can bring them in, but we do have the blue circuits. So we'll just bring in a belt of stuff to make the speed module 1, which is red and green circuits. And then we'll bring in another belt of blue circuits to meet up with that in order to go into the processing unit build. For this, we need to have... Checking the numbers here. Always want to check your numbers. We need to have 6.8 red circuits and 6.8 green circuits, which is just less than a half a yellow belt, yet again. Lucky me. And those are getting made in 11 assemblers. Actually, fewer than 11 assemblers. We can put speed... So, speed modules can only be speed moduled. You cannot productivity module speed modules. So we could do as few as 5.5. That would be if there were 4 speed modules in the assembler. Or we could do as many as 16.5 if there were 0 speed modules in the assembler. Power-wise, that 16.5 is probably the cheapest. But in terms of a build, the way that the build looks, actually, the 11 might be the best option. Yeah, the 11 kind of is the best option. So I think I'm going to do that. Let's do 11. So that is that's the assembler with 1 speed module in it. And let's do that. And I can put 1 in. I think it was 1. Wasn't it 1? Yes, it was 1. So I think that's probably the kind of best kind of balance between number of machines and power usage. I guess we could do the math on the power usage. A normal assembler is going to make... I'm sorry, this isn't the right recipe. This one. Normal assembler is going to use 388 kilowatts of power. The 1 speed module adds 70% power usage to it, and that's denoted here in the tooltip, by the way. Energy consumption plus 70%. So really, honestly, the 16.5 would be the cheapest as far as power goes, but it also 11's a nice, well, round number. So it's kind of nice to do. So we're going to do that, but you can do kind of whatever you want. You can put all speed modules in there if you want to. You can put 2 or 3 in there if you want to. It's totally up to you. So we're just gonna take this one. As far as belts go, we need to have again the red and green coming in. We need to have the blue circuits going out and meeting up, or sorry, the speed modules going out, meeting up with the blue circuits, and then going into an array that makes the rocket control units. So this actually is kind of a good place here laterally, because this belt will go in on that side of that power pole, and this belt will come in on this side of the roboport. So this is actually a good place that I kind of picked on purpose, but not entirely. I should also, though, put in... How is that connected to power? Over here. How is that connected to power? That's how. I'm going to put power pole in here, just so that we have kind of the redundancy to the power there. And then let's connect this one up. So this starts here. This belt comes in like this, just like those do. That one comes in like that, just like those do. And then we can repeat this design. Actually, yeah, let's take one copy, put it down. And then I want a simple power pole setup here of blue inserters in, blue inserters out. Power pole goes there. Although I might move that. So I'm going to wait on that for just a bit, because this is going to need to go into the assembly for making the rocket control units. For those, we need 31.4 of these machines making rocket control units, and that is with the full 3 of those and 1 of those set up. And so what I think I want to do with this, it takes 2 ingredients in and 1 goes out. I think what I want to do is do a mirror setup like this. And then have this coming up the coming up the center, and then having the output going down the center like that. Kind of similar to the way we did this, but only 2 inputs or 2 belts instead of 3. So that means that we can have blue inserters here and here. Copy this and this, actually. And then we need red outserters like this. I'm sorry, no, not blue inserters here. Blue inserters, or blue outserters here, and red inserters here. And then I'm going to put the power poles in, of course. Actually, I think I will do... Can I get away with... No, I can't. I'm going to move these up just so they're all in line. And then we'll have to have 4 power poles here because of the way the setup works. Or do we? Wait a minute. No, we actually don't. We only need the 3. Because it does connect across, and everything is covered by the power grid, as you can see if I put in the power pole right there. So I think this will work. This will work out well, and it's easily repeatable. Now, since we need 32 of these, and I'm doing a double row, that means we need 16 of these long and 11 of these, as previously discussed. So let's copy this part first, I think, and then we can get 32 total of these in, and I already lost count because I was talking. This is 28. I was almost there. No rest for the weary. And we'll trim the ends of these lines. Oh, I missed a power pole here. You go there, I think, if I'm going to follow my own symmetry correctly. And then this needs to be a belt there instead of an undergroundy. Okay, the bots can come and build this, hopefully. Not quite. Let's put another roboport in. I guess we'll just go right there. That's fine. That way I can just use the power pole instead of putting another one in. And then we need to copy this and make it into 11, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Trim. Good to go. And then we're going to need another power pole, I think, down here as well. So I'm just going to let's go ahead and put that in. And then we'll need to reconnect the power poles here in order to keep these machines over here powered, because they otherwise wouldn't get any power. So that should be 11 of these. 11sies. And 32 of these. Excellent. And then we just need to connect this up to the input circuits. Or to input the circuits, or whatever. That goes there. That goes there. There and there. Oh, wait. Green circuits is here. Stop that. I'm going to go ahead and put in a red belt here because we need at least red belts anyway. This goes like that, of course. And then this one goes here. And then we keep skipping red. And destroy the cliffs. This is red here. I don't remember how many red circuits we're actually going to need. I think we just need 2 red belts. Like 1 point something red belts, if memory serves properly, which it doesn't usually. So we'll go ahead and put that in there like that. And then we can get away with a yellow splitter, I think, on the blue circuits. Although it will get upgraded later if we need it anyway. Alright, so let's copy another swath of the bus here. And we'll take that out like this. With an underground there. That's fine. Boom. And then at least copper comes across. Although I don't know that we need copper anymore. But I'm going to put it in anyway. I'll probably end up extending everything just so that it looks nice. And I need to underground this here. And then the iron, which we need to upgrade the iron badly. Undo. Okay, never mind. Never mind, didn't need to undo because it didn't paste. Because I was not shift pasting. And then this can join this belt correctly on the science bus. And that's 2 of our 3 rocket ingredients. You know, I should have done a long time ago when I was complaining about not having the stuff for the rocket would be to request some things. I think I have electric engine units in... Our storage is a bit rough. In the network here. Let's try... What is it again? I've already forgotten the number. 200? 100 pipe we have. We'll get the concrete in a moment. Blue circuits I can just pull off the bus. Likewise with steel. We have 110 on the way, so I'm going to have to go salvage some. Well, maybe, actually. Is that because... Oh, okay, more getting put into storage. Where did I have that set up? Did I pull those off of... Oh, here's a problem that I didn't notice before. Because of the spacing here, I didn't have enough... Yeah. Am I pulling those off of... Science? Here? Nope. Those must just be the ones that are getting made in the mall? That are going into the network? Or those are getting made? Here? Yep, they are. Okay, so I'm going to have to go just salvage some of those. Rather than wait for, I think... Yeah, wait for them all to get made. Let's go salvage some. Come and get me, bots. We'll go here. If I stand in the right spot, which I'm not going to be able to with my exos on. There we go. Let's cancel that delivery order. Oops, too many now. 200. And exos go back on. Getting attacked. And damage taken. Yeah, those corners are pretty rough. Oops, I got stuck. Okay, let's see. Blue circuits, we can get... Uh-oh, I messed up something. I have red circuits on the blue circuit belt. Oh, that's what I did. Somebody probably yelled at me. Now I gotta flush this whole belt out. Dang it. Oh boy. Yep, I gotta flush the whole belt. But at least they'll take the blue circuits they need when they need them. This is going to take a minute. And yes, I could run along the belt, but I don't want to pick up the speed module ones. Actually, maybe I should. Oh, there's all the blues. Now we might have... No, yes we do. Okay. I thought we might have this still because of the... turn off the exosuit. Oh, careful. Careful. Let's vacuum this side of the belt now. And I can put those blue circuits that I don't need for the rocket back in the network. That'll be fine. And my inventory's full. Let's put in a bunch of these and all of those because we're going to be pulling more of these off anyway. I can't remember how many we needed for the rocket. Just 200. Okay. Okay, I think we're there. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get the 200 since I got rid of some. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. Now I want to dump these in a box because I can't hold everything that I have right now. You and all of you go in a box. These need to go into here. And then I need to request 1,000 concrete. And I don't have room for it. I can get rid of that. Almost there. What else can I get rid of that's not going to come right back at me and that I also don't want? A couple of those. Now I can do it. I can barely make it work. Okay, concrete. 1,000. Didn't have that much in storage. Actually, we don't have any in storage because I'm not putting it in the network. That is probably a flaw. Where's a good place to do this at? Wait a minute. Where are those getting... Oh, they're over here getting used. Just do it right there, I suppose. Okay, let's build a little thingy here. We need a stack filter inserter, a provider chest. We need the stack filter inserter to only pick up concrete, and we need it to be logistically limited to when there is less than, I'm just going to say 100 concrete in the network. And yes, I know I need 1,000, but I'm not part of the network. So, and then I'll put this down somewhere. Where was the concrete? Oh, it was over here. Right here. I'll put this down right here. And the boss should come and build it. And it's just outside of power range. So I'm going to put in a power pole that will work right there. How are there not bots coming to build that almost instantly? There they go. Weird. It must, all the construction bots are out elsewhere in the base upgrading my bus, I guess. Or building my bus that I added to. And we are making, by the way, rocket control units here for the Spidertron, but that's nowhere near enough, obviously. As this is only 2 assemblers, and we had to set up 32. Yeah. Alright, so this is going to throw 100 into the box. Wait, why is it not limiting? Or is it because they're already being... I think it's because they're already being claimed for pickup. Yeah, I bet that's why. So now it should stop. Yep, it stopped at 100 plus the rest of the stack size that it had to load. Okay, so here they come now. So that takes care of my concrete needs. I have the blue circuits. I have the electric engine units. I just need steel. I have the pipe. So as soon as these guys all get here, I'm going to turn off my personal logistics and auto trash so that I can trash some or throw some of my stuff in the box and be able to use my inventory space for something else. Almost there. Perfect. Okay, so we'll turn this off. I can go into the box now and throw away some of the, at least the larger quantity stuff that I don't need just yet. Pick up those, and then I needed 1,000 steel. Do I have 10 slots available? Lasers, that's another large quantity thing here. Oop, turn that back on. And we'll vacuum up 1,000 steel. This will take just a moment. And then we can make the rocket silo. And another moment. There it is. I have 7 extra is fine. I'll use it eventually. So that can get built somewhere. I gotta make it first. That can get built somewhere. Just turn. Wait, pick up the chest first, and then turn on the personal logistics, so that they do not fill in. Oh, cancel that. Oh crap! Turn that off. Turn it back on. Maybe. That's not good. If they started bringing me more concrete, I don't want the concrete. I'll have to throw it away. It's fine. That way they didn't start bringing me things like lasers and rails and whatever else the mining drills that I put in my that I put in that box. So be careful if you do that maneuver. Where is that? Okay. It got made. I heard it go. Let's go out here a little bit, just a little bit of space. We don't need a lot. I want to grab another power pole stretch here. Just to go out that much more. We can go also right here. Perfect. With that roboport. And that'll probably be the last roboport on the bus, unless we need to boost production of something. And then we can put this down. I'm going to give it some space. And just kind of put it down maybe over here somewhere. And that's the rocket silo. Let's turn on the Wally bots. They can come back on, I think. Yeah, it's a good thing, actually. Because we needed to build some stuff. Alright. So now, what's going on here? Oh, they're just still filling in the gaps. Alright. We can put in here the 4 productivity modules that can go in the rocket silo. And then we need to put down beacons. Because the rocket silo, I want to boost its productivity, or its output, as much as possible. So I like to go overboard on the rocket beacons and put down 20 of them. I use a pattern of 5 on the corners like this, like that. So let's put in the speed modules here. And then I like to copy this. We'll take the rocket silo out of the blueprint and just rotate it and position it down again. So there's a 1 tile gap between each pair of beacons. Or each set of beacons, I should say. And then, the next thing I like to do is use substations on each corner to fill out that corner. And then finally, you know what? Actually, this might be better suited to be over slightly. What are you all bringing me? Steel and pipe? Okay, that's fine. Let's bring this over here just a bit more. Kind of centered between the roboport there and the power pole there. And we'll come down. Maybe I'll go just right there. Yeah, I'll go right there. Build all the things. Get the Wally out of the way and build the rest of the things. There we go. Alright, so that's the build for the rocket silo that I like to use. And we're going to actually finish the rocket silo hookup because we need to bring the rocket fuel down here and everything. And then we're going to have a lot of work to do to upgrade the bus. As you can see, green circuits are struggling quite massively for some reason. Probably just because we only have 2 belts worth of them. Green circuits are struggling quite massively and such. So we need to come back and do some upgrades, of course. But we can hook everything up to the rocket silo for the 3 ingredients, and then also we need to build the setup for the satellite before we can do too much more, and then we can start launching rockets in the next episode. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you then. Bye for now.